Since we've talked last, you put out a chili cookbook, the Seriously
Yes.
Good Chili Cookbook. So tell me a little bit
Yes.
about that.
It's been so much fun. Yeah, Seriously Good Chili Cookbook. Well, look, if you had asked or said that I was still going to be talking about chili 12 years ago, I would have called you a liar. The scene in the office happened, and it over the last, I don't know, 5-6 years, it's just become, I don't know, like the most memed gift, I don't know, thing anywhere. And at a certain point, I'd never made chili before.
Right. I had read that you had never made chili before.
Yes, I had never made it before. I'm from the South, so I had enjoyed chili plenty of times. And I made it kind of on a lark. I thought, okay, I'll try this. I looked up a recipe online. I made it, and then I took a picture and posted it. I thought, oh, maybe somebody will think this is funny. People went berserk.
The world thought it was funny.
They thought it was just the greatest thing ever. And so I was like, all right, well, that's fun. And I started getting into it. And look, I think there's something a friend of mine said fairly recently as this book was coming out, and said, imagine if the writers had chosen clam chowder to be the thing. Like it would not be the same, right? I mean, there is a passion around chili. It's a very communal thing. I think there's endless ways to make it. And I feel like in general, not always, but you're making it with friends and family. Sometimes everyone's kind of everybody has an idea of how it should be, usually for an event, a group of people getting together. And so I started making it more and more, and taking the recipe I started with and adjusting it a little bit and changing it, and really just got into it. I enjoyed it. And then I was invited to the World Championship Chili Cook-Off, which this is the craziest thing. This thing has been going on over 50 years. I think it's 58, but it definitely over 50 years. And everyone who's there is a champion. Like, everyone has won to get there. So everything is delicious. And I think for me, it was experiencing things that I didn't even really think of as chili, right? Like, and in fact, I was asked to judge, and I judged this competition. And my favorite one was a smoked chicken, white bean chili.
Oh, I do love white chili.
It was so delicious. Now, it didn't win. I think it came in second. One of the one for me that was my second favorite ended up winning the whole thing. And I was in a preliminary round. But one, the culture and passion that I saw there was unbelievable. And two, having the opportunity to expose people to different types, to try different types, was exciting to me. So look, I was challenged. I was told we needed 100 recipes, and I thought that was a lot.
That sounds like a lot.
Yeah, right. Like 100 different chili recipes. We ended up with 177, and I think if we had continued on, we could have kept going. I mean, there's already. In fact, I was in Scranton for the release of the cookbook, and went to a great restaurant, and the chef made chili, and I was like, "This is unbelievable." If we do a volume 2, you are in. I got his information. I thought it was so delicious. So look, it's been a lot of fun. People seem to really enjoy it, and yeah, like I had a woman at a signing who came by and said, we're big fans, and my kids really like chili. I'm a vegetarian. I don't really eat it. And I said, oh no.
Oh wait.
We have vegan, we have vegetarian, we have plenty of options for you in the book. So she was excited about that. It's been so much fun. The response has been amazing. And now what's really fun for me is friends, people that I've met along the way on social media, and I say met loosely, and also friends texting me and telling me that they've tried different ones and telling me what they've liked. And so people seem to be using it. And I think as the weather turns colder and colder, more and more people will.
Absolutely. And I know that you worked with these chili cook-off people and chefs. Are there any family recipes of yours that are in the book?
My recipe is in there now, the one that I have been using. And I did, we did ask for fans to submit recipes. All of them were vetted, I can assure you. And yeah, I have a few really good friends who submitted recipes who are in there, chefs. Okay. And then we've got celebrity chefs, regular chefs, and kind of why the number got so big is we came to an agreement with the International Chili Society, who puts on the World Championship Chili Cook-Off, the WCCC.
Very official.
And we have a ton of world champion recipes in the book. And that I'm so honored and feel so blessed that they have allowed me to do that. And then including, I said, if we're doing this, we got to find the guy or gal who did the smoked chicken white bean chili that I tried at the WCCC. And yes, Chuck Anderson, I know this now, page 86 is there. And I've made it since the book came out. I think I've made it twice already, and it hasn't been very long. So it's worth a try for sure.
That's incredible. I read in another interview that you were talking about the chili scene, and you said that it was tremendously sad for Kevin. And I just have to point out when he delivered that line about it's probably the thing that I do best. But one Kevin line that always sticks out to me as tremendously sad is when he's talking about his breakup with Stacy, and he says it's just nice to win one. I think it was a cold open.
Yes.
After that part, or it was after the parking lot victory. That's what it was.
Yeah.
It kills me every time. Just have to share that with you.
No, thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, look, and this has been kind of a new discovery for me. So you may have heard me say it, but only recently. I try to rack my brain to figure out why this moment has become so big. Why this moment has become one of the signature moments of The Office. And I say that with all humility. It's sort of what it has become. And I think that for me, this is what I hope. I always jokingly say, is it hilarious, genius physical comedy? Yes, of course it is. But I think more than that, it is symbolic of what the show is and why the show means so much to people, right? Mm-hmm. As Greg Daniels told us in the last moment of the show, there's beauty in ordinary things. Isn't that kind of the point? And I think this moment is about a guy who doesn't have a lot of victories, right. As you mentioned, one of the few, one of my favorite moments as well, actually, that when he says it's just nice to win one. And that was about winning parking spaces in a parking lot, right?
Yep.
A very small thing. But this is something.
A big deal for him. A big deal for an everyday guy.
Exactly. And I think chili, being good at something, he also says it's probably the thing I do best. Here, he feels like this is the thing where he succeeds. He's the best. Mm-hmm. He wins. And, and I think that the idea of that, an ordinary person trying to find something beautiful in that, something he does great. Now, in this year, this moment, it doesn't succeed. It doesn't turn into the victory that he wants it to. But I imagine that there are other years the cameras weren't rolling where he did bring it in and everybody did enjoy it, which is why he brings it back year after year on the day he makes it. So that I don't know if it's true or not, and it may be reading too much into it, but that I think is at least a reason whether conscious or not, that people have really latched on to that moment in the same way that they've latched onto the show and continue to watch it.
Yeah, I like that answer. You've also been touring college campuses across the US, and that's a demographic that has really taken to The Office. Do you have any fun stories of getting to interact with that demographic?
Man, it's so fun. I really, honestly, Lauren, I just really enjoy doing that. I really do, because, I feel like it's an opportunity to be silly and have fun, which it is. Part of the show is that, and part of it is a genuine interest in the show and how it was constructed. And I think that there are there are college courses, I guess. Mm-hmm. My sister just told me that my niece and nephew's school, which is high school, there's an office club where they get together and discuss the show. I know there are classes about it, but I feel like it relates, that celebration of ordinary things. I think it's very applicable, and I feel like there are situations that are discussed in the show, either very small, mundane things or larger social issues, that we can have a substantive conversation when I go and talk to them. So it really becomes both. It's messing around a little bit and having fun and celebrating the show in that way, but it's also having a real conversation with people who are interested.
That's fun. And you're still doing Off the Beat, right?
Yes.
How's that going?
Absolutely. I love that too. I mean, the conversations that I'm having with people, Paul Walter Hauser and I just spoke. I mean, I've been enjoying it for so long, and there was a stretch where I was filming a few, I think in 1 week, and Busy Phillips, Paul Walter Hauser, and damn it. I know we're trying to do this. We're trying to post this. I can't pull the other one. Anyway, there were 3 that we did in a week that I was like, okay, we've been doing this a year now, and these might be my favorites. I just, the conversations are so great. People have opened up so much to me. I'm really enjoying doing that, and adding in one of my loves, which is sports as well, that really getting into the heart of either training or people that helped change and shape a person's life and ultimately led them to what they're doing now. I'm loving doing it.
Yeah, that's personally listening to it. It's that human aspect that I like getting, because I think people often forget that celebrities and actors and directors and all these people are people first and foremost too. So right. I like that. I like hearing more about that human side to those people. Well,
that's what interests me, right? I mean, I'm just endlessly fascinated by those, and I'm not even trying to use the title, but those what I refer to as those off the beat moments, those moments where you believe your career is on one trajectory and something happens and it changes to something else. I'm still brought back to guests that I've had, Wendy Malick, Rob Riggle, who had amazing shifts and change that altered their entire lives and careers. And those moments, to me, exploring those moments are the ones that we don't hear about so often. Right. We hear about the victories, but really how they got there, I think is fascinating.
Yeah. Since it is spooky season, I have to ask, what is your favorite Halloween episode or moment from The Office, if you have one?
I guess for me personally, I guess it would be damn it, Creed, I've been up since 5 or 4.
That was mine. So.
Yes. What is it? Is it 5 or 4? I can't even remember now. Damn it, Creed, I've been up since 4.
Yeah,
five.
it's season 5 when
Yes.
Kevin
with the Joker. Yes.
Creed,
For those of you who don't
Creed
know.
and Dwight come in dressed as the Joker.
Yes.
Absolute
That was
perfection.
mine. And maybe that's also because that character is probably my favorite villain. I mean, you didn't ask this, but I'll share this with you. I don't think I've talked about this very much, but I was always interested as a kid. My favorite characters were the villains, always.
Okay.
And I think so. Like, I think when I was 4 or 5, I was the Wicked Witch of the West.
I love that.
Yes, I was the Wicked Witch of the West, and oddly, most of them back there in those early Disney days were women. There is, I was given as a gift as a kid, and I can't get rid of it. I don't even know. It might be worth $1 billion right now. It might be worth 75 cents. But there is a movie called The Rescuers. I'm going Disney.
Yes.
The Rescuers. And Medusa is her name, I believe.
Yes. She's got the orange hair.
Madame Medusa. And I have, it's not on my wall. It's downstairs in a closet because it's like weird to have up, but an original cell when they used to actually draw by animating of Medusa and this giant diamond. It's been so many, I don't even remember. I know it's mice. The Rescuers is mice.
The obsession was that deep.
That's what I would have been given as a kid, not like Prince Charming or, a princess or whatever. Yeah. So it was always the bad guys. So I find them really interesting. And so I guess where I was with that, to me, the Joker has always been the most interesting. And,
so what a treat for you to get to play him.
So yes, that was fun. Yes. Although I will say the year it was in only a very small part of the episode, but well, 2 more, getting to be Paul Blart, mall cop, because I got to ride the scooter and no one else was allowed to do it. And I got to ride the Segway around. That was just entertaining. But I will share with you this. The year I played, or Kevin played Michael Moore, I got a Twitter message from Michael Moore after that episode.
Good or bad?
Very positive, very nice. And I thought that was super cool. And I went to write back to him. So he must have followed me, or I don't know how it happened. And then I tried to write him back and I couldn't write him back. So he wasn't that interested. He passed it along, but he wasn't that interested. But I always thought that was very fun.
Those were some good nuggets. Thank you.
Thank you.
Every time we talk, I have to bring this up because you said it once and I'm still clinging to it. You once mentioned an office reunion. So I just wanted to check in and see where we were with that. Is the ball still moving on that? Is there anything you can share with that?
There's really nothing to share. If the ball is moving, it's not moving in front of me. It's honestly, Lauren, it's what I think. I mean, it's an educated guess, but I don't have any real information. As I've always said, and it's become a standard joke that I make now. People who are asking for a reboot is always confusing to me, right? Because what are we rebooting? Michael's in Colorado, Pam and Jim are in Austin, Stanley's in Florida, Kevin's been fired, Creed is likely in prison. No, I don't know who's still there anymore, but finding an excuse to get the gang back together, I would hope in Scranton, Pennsylvania. That would, I think, I see that happening at some point in time.
I love it. I will continue to cling to it and continue to ask about it every time we reconnect. Okay. Because I will be there with Bell. I live in Pennsylvania, so I will be there with bells on.
Excellent. Well, you should have come by and seen me. I was there. I was in 2 places in Pennsylvania.
I think I was actually traveling anytime that you were. I was traveling for work, actually, anytime that you were remotely close to me. So that was upsetting.
All right.
Next time. Round 2, chili cookbook.
There you go.
All right, Brian, it was so great talking to you again. Thank you so much.
Lauren, thank you so much. I always appreciate our chats. If I don't talk to you, have a great holiday season.
Yeah, you too. We'll connect soon.
All right. Cheers.
Take care. Bye.
Thanks.